know, my feeling about it, I was involved in the early days of the SLO stuff, and I went on sabbatical and came back, and a lot of what we had discussed early on, I think Mark and I were both very vocal about arguing that these definitions were arbitrary and were taking us down the wrong road, and we kept being told that no, we have to do it, we have to do it. My issue was always we can't deal with outcomes if we don't deal with the incomes, and by that I mean what the students are coming in with. And so I think what we've, this was at one point, I think, supposed to be about raising the standards of education and the skills and abilities and facility our students have in being able to read and write and think. And I think that what's happened instead, in part because the importation of a model, which I see comes out of the business end of things, we've ended up with a sort of discrete way of assessing education, and that's what I would like to seriously change. I just don't think it's working, and I never thought it would work.
I was involved with the SLO, and I'm still involved in the SLO committee, and you're right. I mean, at first there was opposition, and there was healthy discussion. There was debate that got heated at times. We ended up making a policy statement, which we submitted to the faculty senate and to the chancellor. The chancellor signed off on it, defining what SLOs are for our campus, refusing to use the term outcomes at the course level, and sticking to the word competency, and getting the administration to say that faculty will not be evaluated based on the results of the SLO data. But through this whole process, I think, I don't know, looking back on it in retrospect, it seems like it was all theater in a way, that we were allowed to have these discussions because the ACCJC had decided that the time had not yet come to put the clamp down. But as soon as the time came, we were told that we need to do things the way they are telling us to do things, and we better fall into lockstep with what's expected. And we did. We were afraid of losing our accreditation, understandably. But that sort of process sort of disenfranchises us as faculty, and it seems to be the way things work. When I was department chair, I gave a very cynical talk to the Arts and Humanities department one day about, well, let me tell you how this all works. The ACCJC makes decisions about what we need to do to get accreditation. They come to the colleges and say, we need a faculty-driven initiative here. And so plant the seeds in the minds of the faculty that they want to do learning outcomes assessment. Get the faculty talking about it, empower the faculty. And so we all jumped on board with this process, put in our 2 cents. But in the end, what's happened, we just got a policy last semester coming down from the vice president of community colleges saying that apparently at least lecturers are going to be evaluated. It doesn't come out quite and say it exactly, but it appears as though lecturers will be evaluated based on their student learning outcomes assessment data. And so regardless of what we may have said or done in the past, what the administration wants to happen is what's happening. I think we can raise our voices, but like Hebert keeps saying, we need to raise our voices. We can't just sit by and say, well, this is somebody else's problem. I'm too busy, I gotta do my own.